Now that you've seen how to use MATLAB for some basic calculations, let's extend upon that a little bit. So you might have noticed that every time we typed in an operation, the way that the result was given to us was by this ANS equals and then the actual answer itself. And also up here in the workspace, you notice that there's this entry ANS which keeps changing. It's the result of the last calculation that was created. And so you might be tempted to try something like this, where you might say, well, I just want to use ANS in an actual calculation. And indeed, that will work for us, and a new ANS value, new answer is generated. And so I can press now the up arrow, and so that will give me back the line that I just typed in, and I can press enter again, and up arrow again. And so you see that every time I'm doing this, I'm increasing the value that's stored in this ANS variable by a factor of 10. And so given that we have this sort of automatically created variable with this ANS, you might wonder, well, can we give our own names to things? And of course we can. So I might create something called value, and I want to put in there the actual number 12. And so what I type is this. I type value equals and then 12. So now let's have a look at what has happened here. So instead of ANS being the thing which is printed, we have the name here, value, which is the name that I gave to the value rather than just letting the default one be used. So I've given it an explicit name, so that is how it's printed. Also over here in the workspace, notice we've now added a new entry here, which is my value that I assigned to have the number 12. And so now I can use it in calculations. So I can put it in the place of any number and simply use it like so. So I can assign as many of these variables as I like. So I might have another one, I'm going to call it A, and I might put the number -10 into there. And so you see over here in the workspace a new entry has been added with this particular value, and now I can use my two variables together and do some calculations on that. And so what's actually happening here is that MATLAB is creating these variable objects, and so this workspace over here is a representation of the internal memory inside the program. And so we have these particular values which have these names. So there's these names and then these values associated with them, and so these things are called variables. And this is a very important concept which we'll continue to talk about as we get into our programming. Basically what I want you to see at the moment is that we can create variables here in the command window simply by using the syntax where we supply the name, the thing that we want, and then the equals, and then a value that we want to use. Now the value on the right hand side can be the result of some computation. So for example, I could put in here something like this, which will do that particular calculation and then give back the result. Create a new variable which is called name. Now one final thing that I want to show you is that if I put a, let's say so that was the up arrow to get back, and now I'm going to edit that, I'm going to put 20 there instead. If I put a semicolon on the end here and press enter, then the result is not printed to the screen, and instead we get back to the prompt immediately. So the semicolon suppresses the output. Now the assignment has still happened. The value that is stored in this variable here called name, this value has changed. This operation has been performed. It just didn't print out the result to the screen immediately. So then I would do something like that to get back to actually look at the value which is inside that particular variable.